Hello, everyone. Sorry, I've just thought I'd come on and do a quick spontaneous live because my boys are out. They've gone to a football match. So I thought I might catch some of you in other countries. I'm not sure. I got confused looking at all the timelines. But I thought I might catch some of you that follow me. Somebody's on, but that follow me. So I thought maybe if you're in America, Australia, I don't know, I couldn't work it out. Hi, Pamela. I thought I might catch you at a better time. My boys are out at a football game and I'm all on my own. And it's funny, I lived here for years. Hello, Helena. I lived here for years on my own and now I don't know what to do with myself. So I put on the Dolce Vita today, but I put that, hello, Jess. I put on that black gel liner from Bobbi Brown in my waterline and it's making my eyes sting and water. So I'm not going to do that again. But yes, I was in the Dolce Vita mood today. So I thought, come on, and I mean, I've got my makeup on, but maybe I could answer some questions. Hello, Solfrid. I haven't seen you on here before. Welcome. Hello, Terry. So what are you all doing? And have you got any questions that you want to ask me? Or requests or anything, really? It's just a chat. Sorry about this. As I said, this is the liner. It's made my eyes water and my nose run. I couldn't put out a video today on the concealer because explain a cut crease. Ah, yes, I remember. Right, so a cut crease. Let me tell you how Instagram people do it because I think that will explain it better. So what they do is they'll kind of, you'll see them, they'll start and they'll put the transition on here, up here, and they'll blend it, blend it, blend it, blend it, blend it, and it'll all be perfectly blended. And then they take a concealer and they just go like that. And they cut into the crease. Now, obviously, I've got a hooded lid, but just imagine that my crease is there. And I did a video once where I put some concealer there and I relaxed my eyes and let it put a footprint up there. So you do like a semicircle there and you cut the crease with the concealer and then you put something really bold on the lid. So instead of, can you see here how this is kind of transitions, although I've got a different colour, it transitions up to, there's no sort of harsh line. A cut crease is if I was to now put concealer over that and then add, okay, I will do that. And then you add, I've just seen the question from Terry about brows, so I will get onto that in a second. So then you just put a shadow on and you will see a clear definition between where the brow ends and the mobile lid starts. So it looked like a semicircle of colour. Does that make sense, Pamela? That's all a cut crease is. Oh, somebody's just commented on one of my videos. I wonder if they can see me and join me. Right, I did a while back. What I'll do, Pamela, is if you just remind, it's not really to remind me, but after I come off the live, no, actually, you've already asked me off live what a cut crease is. I'll find you a video of where I did a cut crease using Charlotte Tilbury's, it was a Stars in Your Eyes palette. Now, Terry, you asked about the brows. I do my brows differently depending on my mood, but today, no, it's not just a darkened crease, it's basically a very defined crease. Today, because I was doing the Dolce Vita look, which is a very strong eye look, I needed to have strong brows. because otherwise it just doesn't look right. And again, if you're doing a very subtle wash of colour on your eyes and do very strong brows, that doesn't look right. So it's about getting things to balance with one another. And the Dolce Vita with very, very subtle brows doesn't really work. I don't think. That's my opinion. So I knew that I had to make them bold. So I'll tell you what I did today, but it does differ depending on my makeup look. I walked past CT multiple times and bought nothing. Oh, the willpower. Well done, you. Okay, let me show you what I did today. So, what I did, actually, I started off with Legendary Brows. And I filled in all the hairs with Legendary Brows, first of all. But then I thought, actually, I need something a little bit stronger. So let me just get this for you. 1 second. So then I used this pen, which I will recommend to everyone. I have no hesitation in recommending, because I would say that this is my product of last year. Here it is. This is a MAC pen called Shape and Shade Brow Tint. Now, on this side here, I have got very sparse brows. Can you see if I come close up? Now, obviously, I filled a lot of them in, but they're very sparse at that point. And I thought, right, Dolce Vita look, I want to get a very clear line to go around the outside. So first of all, I started off with Legendary Brows, which is this. Now, this is like a mascara. So this is a really easy way. If I'm doing a subtle brow look and just wanting to fill them in, I'll just go in with this. Can you see my white brow? I keep meaning to pluck it out. But you just go in and it's like a mascara wand. And I like this wand because it's small and it grabs every tiny little hair. So first of all, I went in with that. And I did do a lot of work on my brows this afternoon. But then I went in with this MAC pencil, and this is what I would definitely recommend to you all. It's a pen. It's like a felt tip pen, but it gives you the fine. I've been testing stuff out on my hands as usual. I always am. So I've always got swatches somewhere on my hand. So it gives you the most fine hairs. So, you know, here, you don't really want a big block of colour, because then that sort of cries fake, fake, fake. So I went in here, and I'm going to go close up. And I just did a stroke like that. So I'm drawing it as the hairs would be in that direction. So look, I'm filling in even more now. But it's not going to look like a brow product. It's going to look like tiny little hairs. Can you see that? And then what I thought, when I did that far, there is something on the other side. I'm going to show you this. Sorry, somebody said something. Yeah, sorry, Jess, it's back again. Now, there is something on the other side of this, which I don't use that often. And it depends. You might want to use it if you've got really sparse brows. But I don't really understand why it's there, because this is very fine. And to get to draw, but this here is like, it's got a powder in there, and then it's sort of for filling in the brows. But I don't understand why you'd want to do that when you've just carefully drawn in some lines. But maybe if your brows were very sparse, I nearly said spows were very brass then. If your brows are very sparse, that you might want to do that. But I don't use that side very often. But I use this. Now, this is the darkest one they do, because I've got quite dark brows. I've got dark hair. I mean, I've got dye in it, but that's my colour. Apart from the white, that's also my colour. But my hair's nearly black. So I use spiked, and this is the darkest colour they do. And you'll see, you're not going to end up with something that looks weird, because if you go too dark with a brow, it looks painted on. So that's the darkest colour they do. Okay, and I love it. And then what I thought was, actually, with Dolce Vita, I want them to look more defined. So what I did is I got the pen and I just put my finger there and I kind of traced a line around there and around there. And because it's so fine, you can't see the line. Well, hopefully you can't, but it just kind of draws them out. And then when I finished, just to add a little bit more definition, and this is if I'm going for a clearly defined. You had yours tattooed? Really? Oh, that's brave. I think I'm saying that's brave because I don't know whether I'd want to do anything that was permanent. But well done you. Then what I did was I took this brow pencil that I've got, which is this 4-in-1 from Benefit, and it's got a highlighter and a kind of concealer pen. You had nothing. Oh, well, I can understand that then, yes. Sorry, Pamela. I can understand that if you've got nothing left. And then I just traced this around the sides. So now this, Pamela, is what they call carving out brows. So, you know, carving out a crease, cut crease, carving out a brow. It's just kind of defining it. It just, anything that says carving out or cutting something is about defining it. So then I just drew a kind of line around what I'd drawn, like that. Now, I don't do this every day. It was only because the Dolce Vita look is a strong eye look, and I was playing, basically. But in the daytime, so then you just, this is a little smudger. So it's a little smudger, and you can just do this. Now, in between each brow product, the other thing is, if you put it on and you think, oh, that looks painted on, and mine did look quite severe. You know, when you look in the mirror and you think, woo, Incredible Hulk. Then you just take the brush and you start brushing with the hairs, because then it just makes it look more subtle, okay? And it will make sure that they stay in the direction that you want them to. And you want to brush them. You notice I will brush up that way and then turn it round and brush down that way. So I'm brushing how the hairs would grow. But if I was doing just a simple day look, I would probably go for Legendary Brows, or I might do a pencil and just draw in some brows. But that would be, those would be my things. If I'm just going for an everyday look, I'd just quickly stroke this through. But thank you for that question. Yeah, was it painful, Pamela, to have your eyebrows tattooed? Someone in my family was considering that. I think, well, tell me, is tattooing the same as microblading? Or is that different? Because I thought microblading was tattooing, but is that something different? Oh, it is the same. So microblading, oh yes, it was painful. Yeah, that gel eyeliner and my waterline do not like one another. So I won't be doing that again. Oh, so it is microblading. Okay. And is it painful? Because when you said yes, I wasn't sure whether you were answering whether it was painful or whether it was microblading. Not much. Okay. Because definitely someone in my family wants to do it. I think it's quite expensive though, isn't it? And I tell you what I wanted to ask people. I've finally gone for it, but do you know, I feel like I've bought, they numb the area. Oh, that's useful to know. You know, I bought this concealer and it's the wrong shade. So I've ordered another shade which didn't arrive today. Hence, I couldn't do the review. But hopefully it'll come tomorrow. Not too bad money-wise. Okay. I suppose with it being permanent, it's a one-off payment, isn't it? Or do you have to go and get it? Oh, you said you have it done every few months. So I bought this concealer and then I had to get a second one because I got the wrong shade. And then I heard you guys talking about BFF eye cream, which I had forgotten was coming out. And I just wondered what you thought of it. I've now gone ahead and ordered it, but I thought, you know what? I've got so many concealers now. It's getting like my foundations. Can you do a tutorial with Stila liquid eyeshadows again, please? Yes, certainly. I will make a note of that. I've got a little to-do list. I'm very happy to do that. Because I've got, look, I'm picking up pens and they're not pens. They're my brow pens. But I'm going to make a little note of that. Stila eyeshadows. Absolutely. So I have gone ahead. Do I use an under eye primer? Do you know what? It's funny because I don't have like a set routine that I use every day because I just think, what do I feel like putting on today? So I'm never able to answer what I typically do because I changed. I think that's why I've got so much makeup, because I just get bored of doing the same thing. I have to change it up every day. But I do have an under eye primer, but I haven't used it for a while. And the under eye primer is, I've got two actually. I've got one by Elf, which is very good, and I've got one by Trini. I've got her, that one that sort of is either for around your mouth or under your eyes. But basically all a primer is, a primer can be a moisturizer. You know, strictly speaking, if you put on an eye serum under your eyes before you do your makeup, you've used an under eye serum. It's you've used an under eye primer because it's primed the skin ready for makeup. So, and I often put serum under my eyes. If you've got fine lines, which I have, look, and I hope you've seen my my pictures on Instagram. If you've got fine lines, or smile lines as I like to call them, if you add moisture to them, those fine lines are going to look less noticeable immediately. Absolutely immediately. Let me see if I can find something and I will just show you. Actually, I know what I can put on here. Mind you, that might, no, that might ruin my makeup. 1 second. Let me just see if I can find something and I'll show you what I mean. Come on. I didn't get all my stuff out, guys, so I am just having to have a look here. There's one little tray of goodies that I know. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Right, let me just bring this back in, because if I've got it anywhere, it's in here. I'm looking for something specific to put under my eyes to show you what I mean. And if not, actually, no, let me use camellia oil. Here we go, that will work. I do have some sort of under eye serum or stuff that I use as well. Let me show you, let me see if I can find that first. Otherwise, I'll go with that. No, I don't want to put perfume on my under eyes. What's that? Shimmering Height. Oh, that's my Stila eyeshadows. Bear with me a second. If I can't find it, I will definitely use the oil that I've just pulled out. Because I have got a little thing that I use to kind of quickly pep up my eyes. Excuse me a second. I will come and look at your comments in a second. I was sure it was in here, but maybe not. No, it's not in here. Oh dear, I really need to go and sort some of this stuff out. Okay, well it doesn't matter because I can show you using this. So if I take my camellia oil, is everyone gone? Have they got fed up of me yet? Right, okay. Helena has a good... What do you do with foundation creasing in your laugh lines? Makes me crazy. Ah, thank you, Helena, because that I can answer that question the same way as I'm answering the under eye primer question. Right. So I've got my foundation on. As you can see, I've got some... I didn't put this on that long ago. Okay. So this hasn't been on all day. I just got bored at about 4 o'clock. Thought I haven't put on any makeup and I want to have a go. I like putting on makeup. So it hasn't actually creased that much. But can you see under my eyes? They sort of look very liney. Now, if I take some jojoba oil and I just put a really tiny amount. Can you see? I just literally wiped the top of the bottle there. It's not jojoba. This is camellia, actually. But jojoba oil or camellia will do. And then I rub that between my fingers because I don't want to be splattering a load on. Right, and I'm going to do... Let me just do one eye. Let me do this one. Right, and I literally just press it and kind of give it a wiggle because I'm trying not to disturb the makeup. Okay? I'm sort of pressing and patting and wiggling. Now, can you see how that kind of... I think if this had been on a bit longer and that had dried out a bit more, you could probably see it even more. But that will actually help to get rid of those lines. Let me just show you there. And show you there. Now I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to do this side. Okay, if I do that, can you see? So I'm just going to... Hello, Mimi. So I'm showing how to uncrease your concealer and your foundation once you've got it on. That's what I'm doing right now. Because the boys are out. So while the cats are away, the mice will play. Now, can you see, by wiggling that around, I've not disturbed the makeup. But one, I've added a bit of moisture. And two, I've taken that creasing away. And here I get these lines. That really annoys me. Now, I haven't done this with the oil, but let's have a go. This I probably need a bit more. But again, it's just about kind of wiggling it. So you're just moving that foundation back into place where your lines are. Does that answer your question? But any moisture is a primer. Or if you've got oily skin, anything that's going to take away that oil is a primer. And of course, with the under eyes, one of the things that I still find really useful, which isn't talked about a lot now because they're marketing something else, is that's his tools again, right next to my feet. Right, here is this. The retoucher. Oops. So if you put this on, you can put this over any makeup, powder, and hey presto, it revives your look. So look at that and look at that eye. And you don't need to powder this. I always think if you don't need to powder, don't powder. This will dry down and set. Don't powder, because the more you powder, the more you're going to accentuate fine lines and the more it's going to settle into fine lines. Now, see that eye? See that eye? That's Charlotte's Retoucher. So there's definitely still a place. And now I had Magic Away on. So it goes nicely over Magic Away. Is anybody still there? It's so quiet without Jack. I know. I lived in this flat on my own for 20 years. And then I got a cat because I was lonely. Then I met Mick. And then I had Jack all within a year. And all of a sudden, the place was like bedlam. And now I don't know what to do with myself. Did the postman come? No, he didn't. Didn't turn up at all. I think he might have been scared because we've got an intercom. And normally he gets in anyway, somehow. But I think he might have been scared to buzz me with the parcel because of what had happened. I hope not, because this guy, he's lovely, and he left me a note, said, would I mind? There you go. Now, if you take a lighter shade, let me show you this trick. I'll show you a few tricks. Where is... Here's a little trick. I've already done this today, but you know where you get your smile line, these lines here, and as we get older, they become a bit more defined. And I've already done this, so you're going to say, well, what lines, Ali? Right, but I have already done this today. So you take Charlotte's Mini Miracle Eye Wand, but it doesn't have to be this. The thing is, this has got brightening stuff in it, which is why I use this. But you could take a lighter concealer, right? And you just take it. I know there's still enough on this brush. And you do this. And see where that line goes there? Do that. And then you take your finger and you give it a bit of a wiggle. Like that. Just to blend it in. And here. And it just takes some of the shadow away. I'll try it on these lines because these are quite noticeable. So you want to get right into the line if you can. Otherwise, you're going to do the opposite. Any one colour pigment. I have one pigment challenge for you. Okay, hang on a minute, Mimi. You really want me to do a lipstick with powder, don't you? Right, so you need to try and get into the lines. Otherwise, you'll be highlighting what you don't want to. And then you give this a wiggle. You have to give it quite a bit of a wiggle. But basically what that will do is it's going to throw light into the shadow and make them appear less noticeable. Hopefully, I'm going to show you that. These are things that I learnt. I'm going to have a look at your request. Hang on. These are things that I learnt in my days doing stage makeup when I was singing in my previous life. We learnt how to do shadows, and I was about 18 before anyone was talking about contouring. We learnt how to make ourselves up to look 80 years old. We'd screw our faces up and find where our natural lines were, and then you'd go in with a brown pencil and you'd draw them in, and then you'd blend them out, and you look in the mirror and think, oh my God, that's what I'm going to look like when I'm 80. And I learned all these sort of things, like here, where I've got my double chin. Let me just show you. I'm coming to your question, Mimi. Where I've got my double chin. Now, we didn't have contour products. We just had different coloured pan sticks. So you'd have your foundation, your pan stick. They'd all be the same product. Okay, so with this, you see I'm a little bit jowly. Again, I'm in a good light at the moment, so probably, but I do I can tend to look a bit double chinny. But if you just take your contour and sort of bring it up here, and bring it up here just to define your chin a bit more, and round there, and then blend it in, you can make it look like it's not there. So they're all, you know, I'm just doing that now with the back of my hand. All little tricks. And I learnt all this when we were doing stage makeup. That's why I became fascinated with it. Right, now to Mimi's request. What was it my challenge? I have a 1 pigment challenge for you. 1 any colour pigment, using it as a lipstick, eyeshadow, blush and bronzer. That's fine. Any pigment, using it as a lipstick, eyeshadow, blusher and bronzer. What, you want me to do it now over my makeup? Or shall I do it on a separate video? Blush and bronzer. Do you want me to do that over my makeup? I can do it over my makeup. But you're not going to tell me it's got to be blue, are you? Because that would be mean. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. At the end of the day, don't be fooled, guys, right? When a product... I saw a brilliant saying the other day, and I wish I could remember it, but it was something on the lines of, yeah, you can use a colour, right? Okay, I can pick the colour, right? I would definitely do that. That's a great one. And I will do it in the next few days. There was a saying about, you know, men's products are like all in one, you know, shower gel and shampoo all in one and out the door. Women's products are like body cream for your elbows. And it is so true in terms of marketing. But actually, you know, you can use things everywhere. Let me just show you something. You talking about the one pigment. It's not going to be quite the same thing, but I'm going to show you. When I am in an absolute hurry, right, I just need one brush. One brush, that's it. I'm not going to be using it for everything. This is what I will do. So just say I've got some unisex healthy glow on. I'm in a hurry and I really can't be doing a lot. So I'll take my my Film Star Bronze and Glow like this. First of all, I'll squeeze the brush, okay? So I'll squeeze the brush and I'll give myself a bit of a contour with the bronzer. Like that. Just squeeze the brush because I don't want to be finding different brushes. Then I'll do my nose like that. And if you want to blend it in, just pinch your nose like that. Then I'll contour around my head like that. Under my chin. Just where I've put that other one. To take the appearance away of the double chin. Then I'll keep squeezing it. So it's like that. And then I'll take bronzer again. And I'll go like that. In the crease of my eye. And like that. And I'll take my finger, my little finger, and I'll line under my eyes with it. This is all with this bronzer. Like that. And if I think, actually, I want a line on the top as well, I'll just pat that along the top. like so. And then I'll move on to the highlighter, and I'll take the highlighter here on my finger. I know I'm going over that lovely Dolce Vita, but it doesn't matter. I'll be taking it off soon. And I'll just dab that onto my eyelids. Don't forget, I've got the bronzer now in there, so it looks like I've got eye makeup on. And then I'll take a little bit more, dab it under my eyebrows. This is just one product. One product and one brush. I'll then squeeze the brush again, and with the highlighter, I take it down my nose, round my head, on my chin, there and there. And the only other product I will use, oh, and if I'm looking a bit tired, with my finger, put some there too, and maybe a bit on my lip. Still haven't moved away from that product, and the only thing that I will divert from is the lipstick. And if I haven't had time to do anything else but do that, I haven't done my highlighter. I did do my highlighter, didn't I? Okay, so I've done my highlighter. Again, squeeze the brush, because I haven't got time to find my highlighter brush. I'm just squeezing the bronzing brush. Right? Then I'll take my lipstick. And if you haven't had time to put on a full face of makeup and it looks quite minimal, then you go for something bold. I'll take my makeup. That'll do. Girl About Town. My lipstick. I'll put that on. Then I'll take some of this. Stick it there. Stick it there. Just pinch it onto my cheeks. And I'm out the door. And that's it. Now obviously the Unisex Healthy Glow to just balance out my complexion because of my hyperpigmentation. So Unisex Healthy Glow, that, Charlotte's Film Star Bronze and Glow, that brush used either like that or like that, and a bold lipstick. And that's it. You can use lipstick on your eyes if you want. Look, you can use lipstick on your eyes. There you go. I'm going to give it a pink sheen. Put some over there. And don't forget, when you multi-use products now, that eye look is going to go with the lipstick. You think I'm mad, don't you? But this is what we were working with 30 years ago. We didn't have all these products. We just had pan sticks of different shades. And then I think, do you know what? I'm going to blot this lipstick, but I want a bit of an ombre effect. I want a bit of an ombre effect. So I take my highlighter on my finger again. And use the highlighter on my lips. Someone asked me, I did for St. Patrick's Day, someone asked me where I got my green lipstick from. Now, I'm not going to go out and buy green lipstick. Sorry, for one day of the year. I hadn't got green lipstick. I opened up my Charlotte Tilbury Rebel palette, put it on my lips, the powder, and then covered it with a bit of clear lip gloss. Just that, it frees you up when you realise all makeup is pigment. It's just packaged in a certain way. There's only certain things I'd be careful of. Like, you know, if they say that a brow, one of the things I would say is if you've got a brow mascara, like this one that I was using, Legendary Brows, I wouldn't put that on my eyelashes and use it as a mascara. I possibly could, but I wouldn't, because that was marketed to go on the brows, and this is very near to your eyes. And therefore, because this wasn't marketed to put that near to your eyes, I wouldn't. Thank you. See, I've just changed the look from Dolce Vita to something completely different. But because that's not marketed to go near my eyes, I wouldn't trust it to put that near my eyes to put it on as mascara. Or I wouldn't, mind you, having said that, no, I haven't done it. I've done it the other way around. I wouldn't put a lip liner into my waterline. Again, for the same reason. But I put an eyeliner onto my lips because it's all pigments. Only when you're getting near to your eyes, you've got to be careful because formulas are designed, when you're getting close to your eyes, they're designed to be a bit more hypoallergenic and safe for the eyes. But other than, but that lipstick's not gone anywhere near my eyes because the mascara's in the way. So, you know, shove a bit more on there. And I look like I've got Pat McGrath on now. Highlight the centre of my lid. Take this again. Stick some of that over the top. Get my finger, want a bit more accentuation in the crease. Get my finger and put that bronzer there. So I think I've made my point. Don't be afraid to experiment. Because that the other day is a good example. I suddenly thought, oh, I wonder what would happen if I mixed that with that. And I made that highlighter. You can do such fun things when you free up from what marketing, you know. It always makes me laugh when they're selling the lipstick and they say can be used on the cheeks. Like it's got some miracle ingredient that's allowing you to use it. This lip, you know, like Trini London, lip to cheek. Well, look, she says you can use any of them on your lips and cheeks. But she markets one for lips and cheeks. And everyone thinks, oh, I've had permission. I can use that on my lips and cheeks. But she actually says, well, actually, you can use any of them on your cheeks. It's just... Anyway, I've rambled on. Does anyone else have any other questions? Last question, and I know I better go and eat some dinner and watch some telly. Are you still there, guys? Sorry, I got a call. From the other half, and I thought because he's with Jack, I needed to answer straight away, but they're fine. They just wanted to make sure I recorded something. Any questions before I go? Oops. Sorry about that. I am still here. All right, you all heading off then? No more questions? I'm just hanging on in case anyone has another burning question, and then I shall say goodbye. But I'm quite happy to answer another question. Oh, you're all so lovely to one another. I love seeing you chatting to one another. Oh, you got an exam. Oh, good luck, Mimi. Now I'm just looking back to see if I've markers as like I know people that put permanent markers. They've used Sharpies to line their eyelids, and apparently it comes off, but I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, my niece did that, used a Sharpie as an eyeliner. Blurring primer. Yeah. Right, listen, I'm just looking back here before I go. The other thing, Helena, that you can use if you don't want to use oil is the other thing I'd recommend would be the Trini. Trini's got a blurring primer called, I'm going to post it below. I've forgotten what it's called, but I've got it. It's very good. The other one is Daniel Sandler has got a blurring primer, which is very good. It's got silicone in it, and anything with silicone in it will blur fine lines and wrinkles. So I'm just looking back at your questions. Daniel Sandler, actually, you get a lot more in his than you will in Trini's, because Trini's is in a little stack pot, whereas Daniel's is huge. So I'll leave you the details to that, Helena. Do you have an under eye? What to do with foundation cream? Okay, can you do it? Yeah, I think I've answered everything. Anybody else before I go? I think you're all leaving, so that's fine, but I just wanted to check. I will remember a question after you go. Oh, but, well, if you do, you can always write me a comment underneath. You know that, Pamela. Don't worry about it. I just enjoyed doing a little spontaneous live. I better go and record this program that they want me to record. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble. But have a lovely evening, everyone. And I'm going to take all this off. Yeah, leave me a message. And if I've forgotten to post anything, just let me know and post the question below, because I can reply to you when we're not on live. I can't reply to live questions. Like, I can't type a reply to live questions, but once I'm offline and you put a comment, I can reply to it. All right, have a lovely evening. Take care, everyone. And I'm off to take this